Students, in today's episode, I, Dr. C. Anita, will be discussing about phosphorus. Let us begin the episode with an introduction. Phosphorus is the most abundant element existing in plant and animal foods and biological fluids as phosphate ions. Phosphorus is the second most abundant essential mineral in the human body after calcium. It not only plays a role in numerous biological processes including energy metabolism and bone mineralization, but also provides the structural framework for DNA and RNA. It is an integral component of many important molecules including nucleic acid, nucleotides, phospholipids and some proteins. It exists in free cells as a free ion. All cells possess enzymes that can bind phosphate to other molecules and detach phosphate from other molecules. Phosphorus accounts to about 1% of the body weight or 1/4 of the total mineral matter in the body. After reading this module, you will be able to understand the distribution of phosphorus in the body, describe the metabolism and excretion, elaborate on utilization of phosphorus in the body, identify the food sources, and learn about the deficiency and toxicity. Let us get started with the distribution of phosphorus in the human body. Phosphorus is widely distributed than calcium. A normal healthy adult man weighing 70 kg will have around 700 to 850 grams of elemental phosphorus that is present in the body, 14% of which is found in muscle and other soft tissues, while 85% is seen in the inorganic minerals in the skeleton and 1% in the extracellular fluids, intracellular structures and cell membranes. Serum and plasma contain only a small fraction of total body phosphorus in the form of inorganic phosphate, lipid phosphorus and phosphoric ester phosphorus. Thus, changes in serum phosphate levels do not necessarily reflect the body's total store of phosphorus. Plasma phosphate is both in the form of organic and inorganic phosphate. The organic phosphate forms 1/2 of the total phosphate, which is present as lipid and protein bound phosphorus. Inorganic phosphate is present as PO3, PHO3 and H2PO4. There is a close association between calcium and phosphorus in the body along with vitamin D. Students, now let us move on to the absorption. Absorption. Phosphorus absorption occurs in its inorganic form through the small intestine. However, radiophosphorus perfusion studies suggest that phosphorus absorption occurs primarily in the duodenum and jejunum. About 50 to 70% of dietary phosphorus is absorbed. Phosphorus from animal sources is absorbed in higher concentration than plant phosphorus. A normal diet provides approximately 20 milligrams per kg body weight per day of phosphorus, of which 16 milligrams per kg per day is absorbed in small intestine by both paracellular and intracellular processes. Phosphorus absorption occurs by two processes, one by saturable carrier mediated active transport system dependent on sodium and enhanced by calcitrol, secondly by a concentration dependent facilitative diffusion process. The intracellular phosphorus is mediated via sodium phosphate co-transport present on villi of the small intestine. The paracellular pathway is a concentration gradient dependent passive transport system. Increase in dietary phosphorus leads to an increase in phosphate absorption. 3 mg per kg per day of phosphorus is excreted into the intestine via pancreatic and intestinal secretions, giving a net phosphorus absorption of around 13 mg per kg per day. Once absorbed, phosphate or phosphorus enters the extracellular fluid and circulation, where it is taken up by bones, teeth and other soft tissues via the action of sodium phosphate co-transporters. The rate of reabsorption and mineralization is important in determining the serum phosphorus concentration. Approximately 3 mg per kg per day of phosphorus is exchanged between mineralized bones and the extracellular fluid. Phosphate is filtered freely across the glomerulus, about 13 mg per kg per day in a normal adult. 60 to 70% of filtered phosphate is reabsorbed in the proximal tubule. This transportation is mediated via sodium gradient dependent process and sodium phosphate co-transporters on the luminal brush border membrane of the proximal tubules. 7 mg per kg per day of phosphorus is excreted through the feces. Alterations in the expression of co-transporters on the luminal brush border membrane and microvilli of the small intestine determine the rate of phosphate reabsorption. In children, absorption is higher compared to adults and remain in the same till puberty. Now students, we will learn about the factors influencing the absorption of phosphorus. Several factors influence the absorption of phosphorus, either enhances or inhibits. Vitamin D stimulates the absorption of phosphorus as calcitriol, which stimulates the absorption both in the duodenum and jejunum. Substances that inhibit absorption of phosphorus are the phytates present in most of the plant food sources like legumes and grains. Several minerals like magnesium, aluminum and calcium impairs phosphorus absorption. Deficiency of magnesium enhances absorption. The two minerals forms a complex Mg3PO42 within the gastrointestinal tract and makes phosphorus unavailable for absorption. Parathyroid hormone and a diet high in phosphate result in the endocytosis of these transporters, thus leading to decreased absorption of phosphaturia. For parathyroid hormone binds to specific receptors in the basolateral membrane, resulting in the activation of a protein kinase, a pathway that leads to phosphorylation of sodium hydrogen exchange regulator factor 1, which plays a role in transcriptional regulation of sodium NAPI2A. The dissociation of NHERF1 results in endocytosis of NAPI2A and decreased reabsorption of phosphate. On the other hand, parathyroid hormone deficiency and a diet low in phosphate lead to the insertion of transporters in the membrane, resulting in increased phosphate reabsorption. Primary or secondary parathyroidism can lead to hypophosphopathemia. Vitamin D deficiency can also cause decreased gastrointestinal absorption. Let us come to utilization. Phosphorus is quickly absorbed from the intestine and into the blood. About 84% of the body's phosphorus is in the bones and teeth. Phosphorus is also present in smaller amounts in cells and tissues throughout the body. Phosphorus helps filter out waste in kidneys and plays an essential role in how the body stores and uses energy. There, together with calcium, phosphorus provides structure and strength. Phosphorus is also required for a variety of biochemical processes, including energy production and pH regulation. Phosphorus is an important constituent of human bones. It is a vital part of the growth process as well as the maintenance of bones and teeth. Along with calcium, it helps to create strong bones. It also helps in boosting the health of your gums and tooth enamel. This mineral lays a foundation of a strong skeletal structure to ensure health and functional living. Phosphorus plays an important role in facilitating effective digestion in the human body. It does this by stimulating the digestion of riboflavin and niacin in an efficient way. Beyond the uptake of other minerals and vitamins, phosphorus directly clears up indigestion, constipation, diarrhea, and generally tones up the digestive system for regular healthy bowel movement. This increases the health of the digestive system as well as that of the kidneys, since the toxins are being eliminated from the body rather than recycling through the kidneys and stressing that system. Phosphorus plays an important role in keeping the kidneys healthy. It does this by ensuring the proper release of waste from kidneys through the process of urination and excretion. Phosphorus encourages the healthy balance of all fluids and minerals that are eliminated from the body, thereby helping the entire body remain healthy and toxin free. Phosphorus heals minor health problems like muscle weakness, numbness, fatigue, and similar ailments. Sexual weakness can also be cured with health supplementation of phosphorus into the body. So, issues like loss of libido, frigidity, impotence, and sperm motility can be boosted by having an adequate supply of phosphorus in your system. Proper levels of phosphorus guarantee proper brain function and cognitive growth and development. Studies have linked phosphorus deficiency to an increased risk of cognitive malfunction and the early onset of neurological conditions like Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Phosphorus is one of the most important elements in the creation of proteins, which further helps in the process of reproduction. It also facilitates the maximum utilization of protein in the human body to ensure proper growth of cells, along with their repair when necessary. In the same manner, phosphorus also helps our bodies utilize carbohydrates as well as fats. The metabolism of proteins is what keeps our body growing and maintaining itself as the wear and tear of the years continues. It is one of the most essential parts of human metabolism. So, phosphorus stimulating effect is vital to our overall health. Phosphorus also contributes to the repair process and maintenance of various body cells which suffer from daily wear and tear. It ensures that body cells are developed properly and remain active for impressive overall health. Phosphorus also contributes to the repair process and maintenance of various body cells which suffer from daily wear and tear. It ensures that body cells are developed properly and remain active for impressive overall health. This contribution mainly comes in the form of helping to create protein and stimulating the correct hormones to react accordingly around the body to stimulate metabolic activity. Phosphorus may be considered vital for regulating the balance of hormones in the human body. It ensures that hormones, especially those required for good reproductive health, are always present in appropriate balanced amounts. Phosphorus does this by directly interacting with the endocrine glands of the body and helps to regulate the creation and release of hormones. Phosphorus aids in the process of energy extraction by stimulating the process of metabolism of different nutrients. Furthermore, it helps in the flow of energy and its efficient usage by different organ systems, some of which is due to its ability to absorb vitamins so efficiently. Phosphorus acts as a participant or cofactor in many chemical reactions taking place inside the body. Also, it facilitates the proper utilization of various nutrients entering the body. It is very essential to regulate the metabolic pathway like covalent modulation in phosphorylation, dephosphorylation of enzymes, etc. Phosphorus is utilized for the formation of organic phosphates as intermediate in metabolic process. Formation of energy-rich phosphate compounds like ATP, formation of coenzymes like TTP, NADPH, formation of phosphoproteins, example casein, etc. Both inorganic and organic phosphates take part in buffering of the cell. Before moving on to the next session, that is excretion, students, let us assess what we learned in the previous section, that is utilization of phosphorus by our body. Phosphorus is utilized in various physiological functions which include healthy bone formation, improved digestion, regulated excretion, protein formation, hormonal balance, improved energy extraction, cellular repair, optimized chemical reactions, and proper nutrient utilization. The health benefits of phosphorus make it an important constituent of any diet. Excretion. More than 70% of the phosphorus in inorganic form is excreted in urine. About 10 to 30% is excreted in feces. High dietary phosphorus leads to decreased urinary excretion. Parathyroid hormone deficiency and a diet low in phosphate lead to the insertion of diet transporters in the membrane, resulting in increased phosphate reabsorption. Recent studies in phosphorus homeostasis have led to the discovery of other factors distinct from parathyroid hormone that regulate phosphate, excretion and reabsorption. The other hormones like estrogen, thyroid hormone and phosphotonins inhibits tubular reabsorption of phosphorus and thus increases urinary phosphorus excretion. Now we have realized how important this compound is. Next, let us learn about the food sources of phosphorus. Phosphorus is present in nearly all foods. Milk and milk products, fish, egg, meat and poultry are excellent source of phosphorus. Milk and its products contain about 200 to 350 milligrams of phosphorus. Cereals, legumes, grains and nuts are rich sources but in lesser concentration compared to animal products. Phosphorus in the form of phytates is also found in beans, nuts and legumes. However, the bioavailability of phosphorus from phytates is limited. Coffee, tea and soft drinks also provide small amount of phosphorus. Let us look at its deficiency disorders. Phosphorus deficiency is very rare. However, it is seen in patients of high doses of antacids containing calcium, magnesium, aluminum, etc. and in malnourished patients who are on intravenous feeding. The deficiency syndrome of phosphorus is referred to as refeeding syndrome. The most significant deficiency symptoms of phosphorus include weak bones and discomfort in various body joints, weakness in bones, tooth decay, rickets and other related bone problems. People may also experience a loss of appetite and diminished body stamina to perform routine activities. Along with all of these few symptoms, a deficiency of phosphorus may also invite numbness, anxiety, traumas, weight loss and stunted growth. Deficiency of phosphorus is manifested by low serum phosphorus concentrations which may lead to anorexia, leukocyte dysfunction, reduced cardiac output, decreased diaphragmatic contractility, arrhythmia, skeletal muscle and cardiac myopathy, neurological problems as well as death. Genetic disorders also are seen in severe phosphorus deficiency. Toxicity. High level of phosphates in the blood is called hyperphosphorestemia. Some of these conditions symptoms overlap with those of low phosphorus. These symptoms include joint pain, muscle pain and muscle weakness. People with high phosphorus levels can also experience itching and red in the eye. Symptoms of more severe cases of high phosphorus may include severe constipation, nausea, vomiting and also sometimes diarrhea. Students, we studied phosphorus under heading distribution, metabolism, utilization and excretion and also learnt about deficiency and toxicity. Now let us sum up what we have studied. Phosphorus is the second most abundant mineral in the body after calcium and is absorbed more efficiently than calcium. Nearly 70% of phosphorus is absorbed from the intestine, although the rate depends somewhat on the levels of calcium and vitamin D and the activity of parathyroid hormone, which regulates the metabolism of phosphorus. There is not one main function of phosphorus because it is essential for the normal functioning of every cell performing a variety of functions. About 85% of the body's phosphorus is in bones and teeth. Phosphorus is also present in smaller amounts in cells and tissues throughout the body. Phosphorus helps filter out waste in the kidneys and plays an essential role in how the body stores and uses energy. Phosphorus is important to the utilization of carbohydrates and fats for energy production and in protein synthesis for the growth, maintenance and repair of all tissues and cells. As inorganic phosphate in ATP, it is needed in protein synthesis and in the production of nucleic acids in DNA and RNA, which carry the genetic code for all cells. Play an important role in regulation of enzyme activity and contributes to buffering of blood and urine in the form of hydrogen, and dihydrogen phosphates. Phosphorus is an essential mineral primarily used for growth and repair of the body cells and tissues. Phosphorus absorption may be reduced by antacids, iron, aluminium and magnesium, which may all form insoluble phosphates and be eliminated in the feces. Caffeine causes increased phosphorus excretion by kidneys. Thank you students. Hope you have understood today's episode. Thank you once again.